Welcome to the 10-Minute Car Sales Talk Podcast, where it's all about life in the car business. Telling you like it is, here's the man with the plan, Terry Cameron.
This is Terry Cameron, and welcome back. You know, what are you going to do today when you show up for work? Do you have a plan, or are you on the hope plan? Jim Rohn says if you go to work on your goals will go to work on you. If you go to work on your plan will go to work on you. Whatever good things we build end up building us. Better words were never spoken, Jim. So tell me, really, what are you going to do today? Do you have a plan? Do you have a routine? If you're going to be successful, you can't just go to work and wing it. You have to go to work and have a plan. You're there anyway. Do something with it. Now, before we go any further, I want to remind you to hop onto iTunes, give me that 5-star review, go ahead and write a comment or two, and share this podcast with a friend. Also, if you need to reach out to me, you can head over to the 10minutesalestalk.com website, send me an email there, or find me on Facebook or LinkedIn. Let's go ahead and get started. Again, you have to have a plan. Too many times do I see salespeople make it in just at the nick of time, right before the door closes on the meeting room. Then they need to take a break right after that to get their cup of coffee and find out what they're going to have for breakfast. I hate to see that huddle every morning where we spend all this time negotiating with each other on what we're going to eat and who's going to go get it. And managers, if you're part of that huddle, shame on you. Remember, you're leading by example. Imagine if we put that type of effort into our regular plan throughout the day. Remember, we're there anyway. There ought to be some things that we can be doing other than just sitting around and waiting. Man, that makes for a long day. And it tires me out watching people do that and trying to get them motivated. Let's talk about some of the positive things you can do every day to help ensure you're going to have a great day. And if not a great day today, set you up for one tomorrow or the next day. First things first, I am a true believer in getting some exercise. Get some rest the night before. Get up a little bit early. Get some exercise. Get your blood flowing. I also believe in listening to something every morning, or watching something every morning, or reading something every morning that's positive and it has something to do with what you do for a living. Those things are really important, and it gets your juices flowing. Get you in that right frame of mind so when you hit the dealership, you hit it running. Make sure you have a good, healthy breakfast. There's more to life than just grabbing a heat-em-up burrito, throwing it in a microwave, running to work, wasting our day, hoping that we get a lay down that can buy, and then headed home at the end of the day feeling like we had a great day because we sold something. Let's take a look at what I think is a great day. Again, I get up in the morning, I go to the gym. I'll have my cup of coffee and I'll have my breakfast before I get to work. I like to get there a little bit early because I want to make sure that I can get some things done before anybody else shows up and distracts me. I want my sales meeting to be a productive one, so I want to make sure I have everything ready for that. Immediately after the meeting, I want to make sure that my entire sales force is doing their teamwork. The lot cleanup, getting their display looking right. And then I'm hoping that they're going to take things into their own hands and get started on their own personal day. Now, I give a few hints throughout the day on what I expect to be done, but you can lead a horse to water, you just can't make them drink. Remember, you're running a business inside a business. Think about what you would do if you owned the place, or what you would expect your salespeople to do if you owned the place. Number one, I'm sure you would expect them to do their follow-up. And I recommend that's one of the things you get done right away. Now, if it's too early, and by too early I mean before 10 o'clock, you may not want to call your customers at that time. But that doesn't keep you from texting them or emailing them. You can always make your phone calls a little bit later. Spread this time throughout the day. Wouldn't it be great to have your day just full of appointments and tasks that are productive? You know what happens? The day goes by faster, and before you know it, you've sold a couple cars. You really need to get in the habit of doing your follow-up right away in the morning. Now, it has to be consistent. It's got to be done every single day, and the best thing to do is to develop the habit of doing that is make sure you do it at the same time every day. If you don't reach the customer that you're trying to reach, just put a little note in there in your CRM to contact them maybe later on that evening. Or if it's a customer you've been talking to on a regular basis, just leave a message. They need to hear your voice and they need to hear your name. You want to follow up with your unsold customers from the previous days. You want to follow up from your sold customers from the previous days. You want to follow up orphan customers. And you want to follow up customers for their birthday calls and anniversary calls. These are good calls. These are happy calls. Now, don't make the mistake of making these phone calls about you. Don't ask for a referral. Don't ask them to buy a car. Just check in on them and make sure everything's okay. Just think, how would you feel if a salesperson called you and asked you for something? You've got the service drive that you ought to spend a little bit of time in every single day. Statistics say that 78% of the people that do business with your service department will consider purchasing a car from the dealership also. So spend some time down there, shaking hands and kissing babies. Besides, you need to make friends with those service advisors. Throughout the day, you could be on the lot, taking some videos of the cars. Send some video text to your customers. Start thinking out of the box. Try to be different than everybody else. Get the information out there to your customers on a constant and consistent basis with some good quality video text. It won't be long before you're selling more cars than you ever thought possible, and everybody else is going to wonder how you're doing it. Sometime throughout this day, of course, you're going to take your lunch hour, but you're also going to have to take some ups, and you're also going to have to talk to some customers, hopefully the ones that were brought in by appointment. You want to go ahead and spend some time, and I recommend throughout the day at least an hour on perfecting your profession. Practice, practice, practice. 20 minutes of product training, 20 minutes of process training, 20 minutes of positive reading, writing, or watching. Those things every single day can only make you better. Imagine an hour of additional training each day, 5 hours a week, 20 hours a month. You just keep getting better and better. And that's what customers want. They want a professional salesperson they can count on to be there and to be honest with them every single day. When you leave that kind of impression with your customers, they'll answer the phone, they'll respond to your emails, they'll send you customers, and they'll be repeat customers. So let's review what we talked about. Start your day out right with a good breakfast and some exercise. Get to work on time and possibly, maybe even a little bit early. So maybe you can do a little walk around the lot, check out what came in yesterday. Did any new cars get delivered? Did we trade for anything different? Help straighten up the lot, and then get busy on being the professional you know you are. Make your phone calls, send your emails, send your text. Follow up with everybody. Go visit in the service department. Take some ups and entertain your appointments. If you do this every day and you have a plan and you do it at the same time every day, you can't help but get better, sell cars, and make more money. You have to be careful and you have to make sure your friends don't pull you away from what you need to do. You know, selling ain't hard if you know how. And you have to remember the customer that came on the lot is there to buy the car, and they'll buy it from you if you do it the right way, and they'll continue to buy cars from you if you take care of them. Look, act, sound, and think like a pro, and chances are you'll be a pro. So once again, I want to remind you to hop on over to iTunes, give me a 5-star review, write a comment, and share this podcast with your friends. Remember, the sky's the limit. Until next week. I'll see you then.